No one really knows when great flame blades first appeared on the scene. Archaeologists estimate that the first great flame blade was forged over 9,000 years ago by giant Gorons looking for a hotter butter knife. But one thing is certain. Ever since its invention, the great flame blade has become a hot commodity. Weapon collectors and seasoned warriors are willing to pay top dollar for these masterpieces, but very few people have actually seen into the Goron refineries where the great flame blades are forged. Today we'll cut right to the chase and answer your burning questions to show you how a great flame blade is made. Many people often confuse the great flame blade with its predecessor, the flame blade. The main way to tell the difference is that one is great, while the other is only sort of okay. Great flame blades are so strong and durable, most people find it hard to believe that every one starts out as a single dragon's tear. Procuring a dragon's tear is harder than it sounds. A single dragon's tear weighs over 30 tons, and each ton weighs over 5 tons. And it's not enough to collect just any dragon's tear. It has to be born out of a state of pure sadness to ensure the great flame blade is crafted to proper specifications. Traveling Goron factory workers randomly yell depressing stories into the wilderness to prompt a dragon to cry. This worker is telling a story about a puppy that lost its mommy. If a tear is shed, the Goron will catch it in a bucket and bring it to the refinery. Once the tears are collected from the dragon, they are deposited here in disinfected tear ponds. When these ponds are filled, they will hold over 9,000 football fields of tears. Each morning the ponds are treated with herbs and minerals, just like I used to treat my uncontrollable diarrhea. It is ruining my social life. A refinery worker tests the tears for heat and sadness levels. Meanwhile, in another part of the refinery, molten Goron poop is collected. There is a lot of molten Goron poop, so the excess is deposited in a nearby hole to be recycled for later batches. The dragon tears and Goron excrement are then combined in a combining pit. This is due to the necessity of combining. An overseer endures the terrible smell and ensures a perfect tear-to-poop ratio. It may be hard to handle, but every sword needs a handle. These workers are mining the metals from the walls of this cavern to be used in the forging of the flame blade's hilt. This machine forms the shape of the hilt. It's designed to be held by a person with hands. This machine adds the color to the Play-Doh. It is not related to the making of the great flame blade. Now the assembly of the great flame blade takes place. First, the tear poop mixture is poured into a mold. Here, a factory worker combines the hilt and the blade. The markings on the blade are of great curiosity, but they are actually there because Gorons are incessant doodlers. When they are not creating copious amounts of molten Goron poop, they spend their time doodling on swords. A worker cools the blade with a burning leaf. The blade is now 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's more than 299 degrees Fahrenheit. Every great flame blade is then tested for durability, sharpness, and of course, murder. This one is acceptable. This one is just kind of okay. It will become a normal flame blade. This one is defective, much like my irritable bowel syndrome medication. With the great flame blade finished, warriors are now ready to invite their enemies to an all-you-can-heat buffet. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you haven't already and you want to, we'd love it if you subscribe. It really helps the channel out a ton. See you next time in the basement.